Welcome, and thank you for being here. No matter where you are right now, or what this new year has already stirred within you, you are not here by accident. You may be stepping into this year with hope, or you may be carrying a quiet weight you have not named out loud. Either way, you are welcome in this moment, exactly as you are. As the calendar turns, there is often an unspoken pressure to feel ready, renewed, or certain about what lies ahead. Yet many hearts enter a new year still tired from the one just lived. Some are holding unanswered prayers. Some are carrying loss. Some are simply living with questions about what comes next. If any of this feels familiar, you are not alone. For these next few minutes, there is nothing you need to solve or sort out. You do not need the right words. You do not need a clear plan. You do not even need to know exactly what you are asking for. This is simply a space to pause, to breathe, and to arrive fully in the present moment. Let your shoulders soften a little. Let your breathing slow. Allow the noise of the day and the expectations often tied to a new year to fade gently into the background. You do not have to carry everything at once. You do not have to carry it alone. This moment is not about rushing ahead. It is about arriving right here, bringing your real self with you. The part of you that hopes, and the part that is still healing. The part that believes, and the part that is learning, slowly, how to trust again. As we begin, let this be a gentle space, a quiet beginning, a moment to open your heart and make room for peace, for clarity, and for the steady, faithful presence of God as this new year unfolds. Father, we come to you at the threshold of a new year with hearts that are learning how to be grateful, even when that gratitude feels quiet, layered, or still unfolding. We thank you for carrying us through the year that has now passed. For every morning we opened our eyes, for every night we were guided into rest, for the simple reality that we are here, breathing, present, and given the grace to begin again. We are grateful for the moments of goodness woven into our days, for kindness that arrived unexpectedly, for conversations that brought comfort, for laughter that surfaced in ordinary moments, for peace that met us, even briefly, when we needed it most. Some blessings were easy to see. Others were subtle, almost hidden, yet no less meaningful. We give thanks for the strength that appeared when we felt depleted, for resilience that formed quietly within us, often without our awareness. There were days we moved forward simply because we had no other choice, and yet you remained near, steady and faithful, providing what we did not realize we still carried. You met us in those places without judgment and without impatience. We also acknowledge your presence in the harder parts of the year. You stayed close when prayers felt unanswered. You remained with us when plans unraveled or clarity took longer than we hoped. Some experiences left marks on our hearts. Some seasons asked more of us than we felt ready to offer. Even then, you did not leave. You did not withdraw your care. You did not grow distant. Looking back, we recognize that not everything feels resolved. There are situations still unfinished, questions that continue to linger, losses that retain their weight. We bring these realities to you honestly, without minimizing their impact. And even here, we choose gratitude, not because the year was easy, but because we were never abandoned within it. We are thankful for the lessons that came through experience rather than explanation, for wisdom that developed slowly, shaped by time, reflection, and moments of discomfort. You taught us what to hold with care and what to release. You showed us, gently, where trust needed to deepen and where expectations needed to soften. We thank you for the protection we may never fully understand, for doors that closed without explanation, for delays that later revealed themselves as mercy, for guidance that came through restraint rather than action. Even when we failed to recognize it in the moment, you were guarding our path with patience and care. We are grateful for the relationships that sustained us, for those who walked beside us, listened without fixing, prayed with us, or simply remained present. We also bring gratitude for the relationships that changed, ended, or shifted. Even when those transitions carried pain, we trust that you were present within them, shaping us with compassion and wisdom. Standing here now, we look back on the year that has passed without rushing through it or attempting to rewrite it. We honor it for what it was. We acknowledge both the light it offered and the weight it carried. And we thank you for being constant through it all, steady when so much else felt uncertain. With open hands and open hearts, we offer this gratitude to you now. We place the past year into your care, without embellishment and without regret, trusting that every step, every moment, and every breath was held within your faithful presence. As we stand at the beginning of this new year, we gently bring forward everything we are ready to lay down. We do not want to carry into this new season what no longer needs to be held. We come honestly and without hurry, allowing space for what has been heavy to finally rest. The weight of the past year is set down here. The worries that followed us from day to day. The concerns that lingered in our thoughts longer than we wanted. The moments when fear spoke louder than peace. We place these things aside now, trusting they do not need to move forward with us. Disappointments that settled quietly in our hearts are acknowledged and released. Plans that did not unfold as hoped. Efforts that felt unseen. Prayers that seemed to remain unanswered. We recognize them without bitterness or judgment and allow them to loosen their hold. We bring forward the regrets that still echo in memory. Words we wish had been spoken differently. Choices we continue to revisit. Missed opportunities that still carry weight. We ask for our thoughts to be cleansed from self-blame and for grace to soften the way we speak to ourselves. The exhaustion that built slowly over time is placed down. The tiredness that came from trying to stay strong, from holding things together when energy was low, from showing up when we felt stretched thin. We allow that weariness to be met with rest that reaches deeper than sleep. Anxiety over what we could not control is released. The future we tried to manage on our own. The outcomes we carried as though everything depended entirely on us. We loosen our grip on tomorrow's concerns and return them to where they belong. We ask for a quiet cleansing of the heart from resentments we may not have realized we were holding, from comparisons that quietly drain joy, from expectations that place pressure where peace was needed. We invite these inner spaces to be cleared gently, without force or striving. The emotional residue of the past year is brought into the light. The moments that unsettled us, the conversations that lingered longer than they should have, the experiences that shaped us but no longer need to define us. Healing is allowed to continue. Even as we move forward, we release the need to understand everything, the urge to explain why certain things happened or why others did not. Unanswered questions are surrendered here, trusting that peace does not have to wait for every answer to arrive. As these things are laid down, renewal begins quietly within. Thoughts soften, emotions settle, balance is slowly restored where things have felt uneven. Space is created for calm to return and for trust to grow again. We choose not to carry the weight of the old year into this new beginning. We step forward lighter, not because everything has been resolved, but because what has been placed down no longer needs to be held. And as we breathe here, we trust that what has been released is held with care, safe, tended, and no longer ours to carry into the days ahead. This new year unfolds quietly before us, without asking us to rush or prove anything. There is space here to begin again in a way that feels steady and unforced. We step into this moment just as we are, trusting that a new beginning does not require perfection, only openness. Beginning again is not about undoing the past or pretending it did not matter. What has been lived has shaped us, taught us, and carried us to this place. Now, it is allowed to rest. We move forward, holding wisdom rather than weight, understanding rather than regret, and a gentler view of ourselves than we may have known before. There is an invitation in this moment to receive renewal at a deeper level. Not a surface change, but a quiet restoring of the inner places that have grown tired. Hope where discouragement lingered. Clarity where confusion once crowded the mind. Softness where we learned to protect ourselves too tightly. We welcome a new way of moving through our days. One not driven by urgency or fear, but shaped by trust and patience. A rhythm that leaves room to listen, to pause, and to respond with intention rather than reaction. We allow ourselves to slow down enough to notice what truly matters. This beginning is not something we earn through striving. It is received. We release the pressure to make this year impressive or to measure progress too quickly. We choose presence over performance, trusting that growth often unfolds quietly and over time. Something within how we see ourselves is also being renewed. We are not defined by past mistakes or unfinished chapters. We are not behind or delayed. We are standing exactly where growth can take root, grounded in belonging rather than achievement. This year does not need to be perfect to be meaningful. Small shifts carry weight. Gentle changes matter. Each sincere step counts, even when progress feels subtle or unseen. With humility and gratitude, we receive this new beginning. Calmly, we step into it, allowing renewal to settle naturally rather than forcefully. And as this moment rests within us, we trust that new life can grow, even from places that once felt worn or uncertain. The year ahead can unfold with greater peace, deeper trust, and a steadiness that remains, even when circumstances change. We welcome peace into this new year, not as a passing feeling, but as a steady presence that remains through changing days. A peace that settles beneath the surface, deeper than circumstances, quieter than surrounding noise, strong enough to stay even when life feels uncertain. We ask for this peace to cover our thoughts, calming patterns of worry that rise without warning and slowing the inner rush that pulls us toward fear or urgency. May our minds become a place of rest rather than constant motion, trusting that clarity comes more easily when peace is allowed to lead. We receive this peace into our hearts, especially in places that have been guarded, strained, or overwhelmed. Tension begins to soften. Gentleness is allowed to return. A calm takes root that does not depend on everything going well, but remain steady even when things feel unfinished. We trust in a covering for the year ahead, a protection that surrounds our inner lives where doubts and fears often begin, steadies our emotions when circumstances shift, and guides our decisions with wisdom rather than pressure. A covering that does not confine, but gently holds. This covering extends over our days and nights, over moments of movement and moments of rest, over our coming and going, over the ordinary rhythms and the unexpected turns. Nothing is outside of its care. Peace is welcomed into our relationships, into conversations that shape us, into connections that matter deeply. Where misunderstanding might arise, may patience lead. Where fragility remains, may peace guard what is still healing. We allow this peace to settle within our homes, in quiet moments and busy ones, in routines that repeat and changes that arrive without warning. May our living spaces become places where calm can return and rest can be found. We trust this covering over our bodies and well-being, over strength, energy, and health. When uncertainty appears, fear does not have the final word. Care extends beyond what we can see, reaching even what we cannot. Peace also moves with us into our work and responsibilities, into decisions, deadlines, and demands. It steadies our pace, reminding us that productivity does not require the sacrifice of inner calm. As the future continues to unfold, we place plans still forming and paths not yet clear into this covering. We release the need to foresee every outcome, trusting that care goes ahead of us, preparing the way. We rest in the assurance that protection does not mean the absence of challenge, but the presence of care. That peace does not remove every difficulty, but steadies us through each one. And as we pause here, we allow this peace and covering to settle deeply, surrounding us, guarding us, remaining with us through every season of the year ahead, steady and faithful, one day at a time. As we look toward the year ahead, we acknowledge that much of it is still unknown. There are paths we cannot yet see, decisions not yet made, and moments we cannot predict. Instead of trying to control what has not arrived, we choose to move forward with trust, allowing guidance to meet us one step at a time. We do not need the entire road laid out in advance. What we ask for is direction that comes with each step, clarity when choices must be made, restraint when waiting is wiser than moving, an inner sense of peace that helps us know when it is time to proceed and when it is time to pause. The pressure to figure everything out at once is released. The need for certainty before moving forward loosens its grip. We step away from the habit of replaying possibilities until anxiety takes over, trusting that wisdom often arrives quietly rather than with force. As this year unfolds, we welcome a steadier way of making decisions, one not driven by fear of getting it wrong, but shaped by attentiveness and trust. We create space to listen inwardly, to notice what brings peace and what brings unrest, and to recognize when something aligns deeply and when it does not. We place our plans into open hands, goals that matter, hopes we carry carefully, responsibilities that feel heavy at times. We trust that what needs to remain will remain, and what needs to change will be gently redirected. We are not alone in shaping the days ahead. In moments of uncertainty, guidance is welcomed. When options feel unclear, when timing feels confusing, when the next step carries more weight than expected. Direction does not always come as an answer, but often as a growing sense of calm, patience, or readiness. Guidance is also invited into our relationships, in knowing when to speak and when to listen, when to lean in and when to give space, when to hold on and when to let go. Discernment shapes connection, allowing honesty and care to grow together. As we move through this year, trust is allowed to deepen. Trust that we are being led even when the path feels ordinary. Trust that delays are not denials. Trust that adjustments are not failure, but refinement. Urgency and comparison lose their hold. The fear of making the wrong move is released. The fear of falling behind or missing what matters most. We remember that guidance is not withdrawn when we hesitate or take time to learn. It remains patient, steady, and present, meeting us where we are. We also welcome guidance in our inner life, in how we manage our thoughts, in how we respond emotionally, in how we care for our well-being. Wisdom extends beyond major decisions into the small, daily choices that shape our peace. This year, we walk forward without forcing outcomes or rushing timing. Direction unfolds through faithfulness in small steps, through attentiveness, and through a willingness to remain open. As days turn into weeks, and weeks into months, we rely on guidance that meets us where we are. We move with humility rather than control, with openness rather than fear, trusting that clarity will come in the right moments. And as we continue into the days ahead, we rest in the assurance that this year will not ask more of us than we are given grace to carry. Each step will be accompanied. Guidance will arrive when it is needed, often quietly, often gently, always with care. Jesus Christ, we place this entire year into your hands now. Everything that has been spoken, everything that has been felt, everything that has been quietly carried within us during this time, we offer it without hesitation, trusting that nothing given in sincerity is ever overlooked. We entrust you with the days ahead, with what feels clear and what is still unfolding, with what brings hope and what remains uncertain. We release the need to manage every outcome, believing that what has been placed into your care is held with wisdom, patience, and love. Our plans are placed into your keeping. Our hopes, our responsibilities, our unanswered questions. We trust that you are already present in each moment before it arrives, preparing the way in ways we cannot yet see. Every prayer spoken here is sealed in your name, not with urgency or effort, but with quiet confidence. What has been released remains released. What has been surrendered remains surrendered. What has been placed into your hands does not need to be carried back. We rest in the assurance that you continue the work beyond these words, that your presence does not end as this prayer comes to a close. Peace, guidance, and protection remain near and active as we move forward into the year ahead. We step away from this moment without fear, without striving, without holding tightly. We trust you to lead, to guard, and to provide, one step at a time, exactly as needed. This time is sealed calmly and reverently, knowing that nothing offered here is wasted, and nothing entrusted to you is forgotten. Amen. Stay here for just a little while longer. There is no need to rush back into movement or noise yet. Let your breathing remain slow and easy. Notice the quiet that has settled, even if it feels subtle. Something has shifted, something has softened, and it's okay to allow that space to settle fully. Carry this stillness with you as the day continues, not as something fragile, but as something steady. Let it move with you into your thoughts, your conversations, and the choices you make. When the pace of life begins to increase, remember this moment. You can return to it more easily than you might expect. As the year unfolds, allow this calm to shape how you respond rather than react. When uncertainty appears, let trust rise gently in its place. When pressure builds, return to your breath and to the peace you touched here. This quiet does not disappear when the prayer ends. It remains available to you. You may notice that the world around you hasn't changed, but something within you has. That matters. Inner shifts often come quietly, without announcement. They grow through attention, patience, and a willingness to remain present. If this prayer met you where you are today, you are invited to respond in a simple way. You may write Amen in the comments as a quiet agreement and a sign of trust. If you feel comfortable, you can also share a short intention or prayer for the year ahead. Someone else reading may be encouraged by your words. If you would like to remain connected to this kind of quiet, prayerful space, you are welcome to like this video or subscribe to the channel. Not for numbers or performance, but as a way of returning whenever you need a moment of calm and reflection. As you move into your day, go gently. Carry this peace with you. Let it steady your thoughts, guide your steps, and remind you that you are not walking into this year alone. May the quiet you felt here meet you again and again in ordinary moments and unexpected ones, carrying you forward with reassurance, clarity, and hope.